$95.
All right, so let's see if I can bring on Chris Coleman.
You taking pictures of us too?
There he is, Chris Coleman. You guys on Facebook Live. Here we go.
No, that's okay. We don't want that. Thank you for trying it. You gotta give up.
What up, Chris? How are you, man?
Doing great. How about you?
Hey, doing awesome, brother. Thanks for accepting the invitation to chat. And I'm here at the State Fair. We got the cut over here at the State Fair. And
Okay.
yeah, so figured I would step away for a moment so we can catch up and chat. And I'm really excited, man. I love the story, love the book, and love the meaning behind everything and what you're doing and where you're at in life. And for those that are listening, those that are will tune in and over the course of this conversation. I mean, you have some story, dude. I mean, from where you were and where you are to where you're going is really impressive and really exciting. And I think it's inspiring to a lot of people that circumstances is not necessarily the determining factor in life, and
Right.
where you are is not necessarily who you are. And
Right.
I'm really excited to see where this conversation goes. So to kind of start us up, man, Chris, tell us a little bit of background for yourself. Who were you as a kid? How did life kind of unfold for you? What led to the homelessness? I think some people are interested in that. I mean, I'm sure there was a whole journey just to get to the valley. So kind of walk us through of like, what was the journey to get to the valley of, homelessness in that sense of like where you were as a kid to adolescence to teen to, that led to that chapter of the life, man.
Okay. Cool. Well, born here in Mobile, Alabama, raised, it's a home of Mardi Gras. We got Mardi Gras coming up. So, but yeah, here in the Deep South, grew up, heavily in the church. Grew up Catholic. So, grew up with a single mom. So, main thing was just doing things by the book. Don't get in trouble. Be be seen, not heard. Just do things right. And if you do that, then life will reward you and set you up for success. So and that's all I did. I grew up an athlete, so I was always busy. You know, very intelligent. I had a full scholarship to a Catholic high school. Full academic scholarship. Real. Intelligent in the books. Been a reader all my life, so never got in trouble. So like that was my background. Really kind of squeaky clean, if you will. So, but got to the point where graduated high school, went to college for a year, and things came up family wise where my family needed my help, so I dropped out of college to just get some 9-to-5 jobs, help my family out. And what I found was that once I was in the real world, I really didn't have the skills and really the tools, to succeed. My thing was growing up, like I said, if you never get in trouble, you do things by the book, things will work out. But at that time, this is what, 2009, 2010, 2011, where we had a huge shift in, entrepreneurship, really, there's no more gatekeepers. It's like a democratization of where like everything's on you now, and I'm just out here kind of SOL, like, well, I don't know what to do. So and I mean, this is like an entire story and chapter in itself. But I just find myself like, look, Chris, if you're gonna make a huge change in life, you have to change. If things are gonna change from you, you gotta make like a drastic change for yourself. And I was working 9-to-5 jobs, really wasn't happy. And my family kind of at that point was like a safety net for me, kind of doing what they wanted me to do. And I was like, look, I'm just gonna kind of emancipate myself. And I found myself, I really wasn't like homeless, like sleeping out of a cardboard box. I was like out of my car. I had 2 jobs at the time, one at night, one during the day. So I was always at work, and just kind of had all my clothes in my car, sleep out in my car. But it was very liberating. From that point on, I had nobody else to blame. It didn't matter, my background, or that my dad was never around, or that like any of these things. From that point on, it was completely on me. And when it's completely on me, I'm a constantly progress, because I have nobody else to put it on.
Tell us about that decision. I mean, and by the way, thank you so much for sharing, the story and what led to this. I'm
Hmm.
curious about the decision to drop out of school. I mean, your academic scholarship, you worked so hard to get to that point in life. So, I mean, you think about in life, you went from middle school, high school, so that in itself is like 6, 7 years of
Hmm.
hard work, academic, late hours, lots of studying. You get this scholarship, you put in the hours, you're in college, and then pretty much leave it all because of
Hmm.
the circumstances at home. Could you walk us through that decision-making process on how you said, hey, the last several years of my life that I've worked so hard,
Hmm.
it's not as important as this one decision. I got to do what I got to do.
Right. Yeah, that's a great question. A big part of it was really just paying attention. Like this was around, I graduated high school in 2009. My, the only year I went to college was that 09-10 year. And I really started to see like, man, like some of my peers or some people that I know um, that either from back home or whatnot, they were graduating with degrees and couldn't get a job. Like had degrees on the wall, having to come back home. So that was one. I was like, man, like why? And I know these people, and they're like extremely smart. They can't find a job. And then I see like this, like I said, around 2000, 2009. So you're starting to get this wave of entrepreneurship, and you're starting to see more stories of people succeeding without a degree, and and it's really about being self-aware. And like I finally had really a perspective shift. Like, well, I, my DNA, I don't really want to, work for somebody. I definitely, from my background, like that didn't work. Just following the book by the T, and just doing things the right way. Well, I know I'm extremely, innovative. I'm extremely, I have a high level of emotional intelligence, so I know I go into business, do all that. Let me kind of go the opposite way. So I just knew, okay, this is what everyone's doing, and it's not working. So let me just do the opposite. And at that time, the decision was drop out of school, which is extremely, like it's an extreme decision. But at that time, I just knew it's almost something like you can't walk somebody through. It's just one of those gut feelings, like, okay, this isn't for me. So instead of just going through the motions and collecting tons of debt and wasting 4 years of my life, let me just drop out. And
Hmm.
and and in the end, at work, I got some real life experience. Instead of just going through school and, like I said, going through the motions.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of courage. And that's really that's great. Well, I mean, where do you think that courage came from? Here's a better question: if someone's listening in and they're in a position right now where they're like, I want to be a business owner, I want to operate my own business, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I'm going to school right now to please my parents, or I'm going to school right now because the stigma says that security is what I really want, but um, I don't buy into that, but I'm nervous and I don't feel like I have the courage to make that decision. What would you say to someone that might be faced with that decision right now?
Well, one thing from the question you just asked me that stood out is the security part. And one thing I would say to that is the whole security thing is just it's a joke. It's really a myth. I mean, the government shutdown just proved to us that nothing is secure. Like these are people that have government jobs, and it's usually known like, okay, you got a good government job, you're going to be paid great, and there are government people that still haven't been paid. So, and if you work a 9 to 5 job, or no matter what level of management you're in a 9 to 5 kind of job, like they can fire you tomorrow. You can show up to work tomorrow and the company's bankrupt. So this whole security thing is the only way you're going to be secure in life is if you focus on you. And I mean you know the quote by Jim Rohn. Work hard in your job, or when you work hard in your job, you can make a living. When you work hard in yourself, you can make a fortune.
Mm.
So I learned that early on. Like, work hard on me. Like when you go all in on you, you'll always get a great return. You'll always win. And a lot of times people, it's scary, but I mean, like, what's the alternative? Like doing something, like living a life for somebody else. Like I just, and it's part of my DNA too. Like I can't see myself living life for somebody else, because and I heard Jim Carrey say this recently. You can fail at what you don't like in life. Like, just think about that. You can fail at something you don't even want to do. So you might as well take a chance on doing something you love in life.
That's so rich, man, and that's so rich. And it's I love the quote you said. You could if you work real hard at a job, you can make a living, but if you work really hard on yourself, you can make a fortune.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love that. I love the Jim Carrey quote. That's great too. You could fail at something you don't like, so you might as well do something you do.
Might as well.
Great quotes. I love that. I also heard another one that security is not so secure. I've heard that one before too. So these are great. These are great reminders, because there's a lot of people, out there, especially young people that, are, we could use the word lost. They're lost on the inner game, because there's so much stuff out in the world that's feeding them all this stuff, this information that's coming from their parents, from their teachers, from Facebook and social media, that they don't know what to believe. They don't know what to think. They don't know what to hear. So you're sharing some real wisdom from your experience right now, which is really fantastic. So let's talk about this. You're working these two jobs now. For those that are just joining, we're in a position where you got these academics going, you got the scholarships, you go to college, you do your first year, you're like, I'm actually dropping out of college because my family needs me. I got to go to work. I get on two jobs. I'm working, I'm grinding. I'm even staying in my car some days. I'm like not even putting a roof over my head in some cases, because I need to work so hard. And if I go take a rest, I might miss my opportunity to go work. So I got to, hang out in this car. I got to do my jobs. I got to work. That was back in 2010 or so. Now it's 2019. Are you still, the book is 180 effect. So I assume you're still not, living in the car or like working two jobs. So there's the 180 effect, I'm assuming, is flipping that switch. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that flip of the switch, of what that 180 effect means to you?
Yeah. So you just said it. The 180 effect. Really turning things around. And that was one thing in my life. I completely turned things around. Of course, I don't know about your audience, but we're both Vector people. Vector alum here, and I got started with Vector in 2013. So, in the beginning of 2013, when I was actually homeless, being in my car. And that April is when I went into the group interview, got the job, and then in 2 weeks became assistant manager, and then in 2 months I was a sales manager and basically the dom, for the office. And then in 9 months, I became a district manager under Danny Feldman at the time and Martin Zeman. So in 9 months, I went from being in my car, don't have any skills, don't know what to do, and in 9 months I'm being promoted to a district manager in the company. So and then I go to an untapped territory. Start the district headquarters from scratch. In that 18 months, we did right over six figures. In a brand new, we did like 105K. But in an area where the median income is like 35,000 a year. So that's saying a lot. And I also recruited 150 reps on my sales force. So I mean, turning things around. I really saw that it was really three phases of it. I had to grow, then I had to groom my skills, and then I was able to reach a level of greatness. That first year, 2013, growing, getting a new position as a sales, rep. When before I couldn't even talk in front of a crowd, or say anything to somebody without stuttering. And now I'm running group interviews, and then, my first year as a DM, grooming those skills, doing trainings over and over again, doing interviews, developing my reps and my receptionists. And then my first 4 years, full year as a DM, being one of the top recruiting DMs on weeks, in the region, in the Southwest region. So I really saw that, okay, that first year, 2013, I had to go through the growing pains. And then in 2014, I had to groom my skills, even though it was like daily repetitions over and over again. But I had to groom. And then that 2015, my first full year as a DM, I could finally get into that greatness level and doing some things that's pretty cool. So that's a 180 effect, those three phases. And what I found is a lot of people try to skip, like they want to go from getting started to being great, or they want to, or want to bypass all the growing pains. But I learned, with the 180 effect, like you can't ignore it. You got to go do it. You got to
Mm.
grow, got to groom, and then you're in that level of greatness. And then it's also a process, but it's also a cycle. So in 2015, when I was, doing some great things, I made a decision like, all right, now my real passion was health and wellness and nutrition. So I'm going to move back home. I had a lot of family members dying at the time. I had a bunch of uncles in the past 6 years. I've had 5 uncles pass away.
Mm.
So health and wellness and nutrition is my true passion. So I was like, all right, look, I'm gonna move back home. Even though I'm doing great as a DM, I'm gonna move back home. Really help my family out, really help my people out, and I really want to change the state of health in the South. So that decision to move back home, that was a decision that pushed me back to the beginning of the process. Now I got to grow again. Now I got to get the grooming, and even now I'm starting to get into that phase of greatness again with everything I got going on.
Yeah, I love that. I love that process and that cycle. You got to groom, then you got to grow, and then you could prepare yourself for greatness. But that cycle, you're right. You're eventually gonna level up, kind of like Mario Brothers, right, or a video game.
Mm-hmm.
You reach that next level. Once you beat one boss man, there's another one around the corner, and you got to go through that process all over again. And I love what
Right.
Michael Jordan's old quote: "You can't rest on the laurels of your past success." So
Mm-hmm.
it's what a great reminder for anyone listening in. And I also want to echo what Chris you just said of, um, you took a chance. You said, hey, I already have a good thing going. I got a good thing going right now, and I'm going to leave the good thing for my passion, which again takes courage. So you've demonstrated courage a few different times. You demonstrated courage when, hey, things are going good with college, but I'm going to stop college and go be there with my family because my family is my passion. I got this good thing as a district manager or Cutco and Vector, but I gotta make another decision because my true passion is health and wellness. So it takes courage to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
and and again, that self-talk, that mindset to make the courageous decision is what we want to inspire young people to do, is have the courage to make those decisions in those moments. Do you have any words of wisdom about making those decisions in those moments? And then I'd like to hear what you're up to now with this health and wellness, so that way some people can hear what you're up to now.
Okay, great. Yeah, man, like you just said, it's self-talk. I mean, that's so huge. Like
Are you
people,
reading anything, listening to anything, quotes, movies,
yeah,
podcasts, anything that you're doing to feed that mind, or that they could feed their mind during this process of finding and tapping into that inner courage?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, really find a mentor you can relate to and study them. Like, don't have a bunch of mentors because then you get lost. So find like that one person. Like for me, it was Grant Cardone. Back in the day. Really attaching to him. But also, so I mean, it's so many resources today. Like I can name a ton. But the main thing I
Give
want
us
to
your
get to,
top 3 to 5 resources.
uh, let's
So
see.
Grant Cardone.
Yep, Eric Thomas, his podcast. You can't go wrong with that. And then like Ed Milet, with Matt's out. Like those are some good dudes you can listen to.
Those are
So
3 powerhouse: Grant Cardone, Eric Thomas, and Ed Milat. I had the privilege of meeting Eric Thomas. I had the privilege of going to 10X Growth Con with Grant Cardone this past weekend, and
okay.
I religiously listen to Ed Milet. So
Mm-hmm.
he's amazing. So those are
Yep.
great 3. So go ahead and go. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to capture those
No, no,
3.
no.
Yeah.
That
So
was
go
good.
ahead. So tell us a little bit about where you're up to now and what's next, or what you wanted to say about that, please.
Yeah, I'll say what I wanted to say, then I'll transition into what
Yeah,
I got
please.
going on. So, but one thing that's huge that I teach people is about self-talk. And a lot of people want someone to motivate them, but one thing I learned is you don't want to outsource that, because what if that person never shows up? Then you're not motivated. You're not, like, you don't have anything going. You never want to be a wheelbarrow where the only time you're useful is when you're being pushed. So you want to have that inner drive, that self-talk, where it comes from the inside. So even Jim Rome said, like, with motivating someone, like, it's not enough to motivate. If you take an idiot and you motivate them, well, now all you have is a motivated idiot. So like too many people want to be motivated, but you got to have that fire within inside you, and somebody can inspire that. They can add a flame, but you don't want to just be sitting back and just waiting on somebody to motivate you. So that self-talk, that story you're telling yourself constantly in your head, like even me with being a wellness consultant and health coach, like I talk to my people maybe like the amount of time I talk to people maybe 5% of the day. That's 95% that they're being influenced by other things. So they gotta have that self-talk in their head that's gonna carry them on. So I just want to touch on that real quick.
It's
And
great. That's rich. That's rich. So
yeah,
tell
man.
us about, and that ties perfectly into health, the wellness, because a lot of that is self-talk. All of us have temptation that settles in, and we don't feel like going to the gym, or we don't feel like eating right, or we don't feel like treating our body right. So, talk to us a little bit about what you're into now with the wellness.
Yeah, so right now I'm the founder of Health is Wealth Nation. So health is wealth is it's a common phrase that people have been saying forever. But of course for me, stepping down from being a DM, coming back to help my family, I really want to instill that here in the South. And right now I'm actually in the process of making it a legit LLC with being a corporate wellness consultant agency. So for the past few years, I've been helping people like in the community, kind of like from the low scale, get in shape, change their habits and lifestyle. But now I'm about to go high, so have that high and low. And now I'm about to start working with corporate wellness. I really want to disrupt the corporate wellness industry because it's a bunch of loopholes and so much with health insurance and Medicare and so many things. But with business owners, like we just want our people to feel good so they can, to operate, and do a good job. Like that's basically the bottom line of it. And one thing I always say is our lifelines, healthy lifelines, lead to healthy bottom lines. So like that's all a business owner cares about. He wants his people to feel good so they can do good. So with being a corporate wellness consultant, that's going to the next phase. Getting some corporate clients, doing some speaking, taking on some contracts where we go in. We don't just figure out, okay, this is where you're doing, this is where you're slacking. We can actually go in and we have the tools to make some real changes. So that's what's going on now in this next phase.
I love that. Health is Wealth Nation. And if some people wanted to find out more about that, where could they find out information about Health is Wealth Nation?
You can go to our website. We have it's really in its beta stage. We got a lot more information to put, but we got some good information to give people a good idea at healthiswealthnation.com. And if they want to know something, they can find me anywhere on social media, but you can email me at chris@healthiswealthnation.com.
And if you could correct me if I'm wrong here, there's there's a different philosophies and principles with health, and the industry is saturated with all different philosophies and principles. So your brand that you really stand behind is which brand?
As
Is
far as
as far as like nutrition of feeding your body, is that Herbalife?
yeah, Herbalife, yeah, Herbalife
Okay,
Nutrition, yeah.
so Herbalife Nutrition is the one that you really endorse.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a partnership where because a lot of people like they have all the knowledge, but at the end of the day, they don't have anything to help someone apply and any tool. So that's one of the products we do. Like, okay, I can tell you what to do, but also I'm gonna give you something you can actually
Yeah.
apply to your life. So it makes it more practical.
Good. Yeah, and there's so many out there. I mean, between Shackley to Advocare to Elevated to Isogenics. I mean, there's so many different brands, but realistically, the most important part, regardless of the brand of nutrition someone's using, is are they in good habits? Are they in good rituals? Are they treating their body right? Are they treating their mind right? And as long as it's systemized and regimented, I think people would. And you could correct me, like I said, if you're in the industry, but as long as they're regimented, they're treating their body right, making good decisions, the products are important. Don't get me wrong, but the thought pattern behind the products and like how they're treating their lives are probably more important. And that's what you're talking about with Health is Wealth Nation. Does that sound about right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, just think about it. Like they're called supplements for a reason. They're made to supplement, a foundation of eating right, thinking right. And that's actually the three pillars of Health is Wealth Nation with our consulting agency. Is first, it's not even anything to do with health. First, you need to be emotionally intelligent. So, and then you need to be mentally strong. Because if you don't have those two, I don't care what I tell you, you're not gonna do it anyway. So the third pillar is physical health, and it's a quote that I have is there's no way to get sustainable physical results unless you're first emotionally fit and mentally strong. So and that's a common thing that's going on in my life. Like I won't say it's easy, but it's simple for me to do things because I'm so like my emotional intelligence and just my self-awareness is so on point. I can just do it. But with somebody else, like they don't have the discipline. Like people don't have a weight loss problem; they have a discipline problem. Like that's what it comes down to. So we're all about getting people to think right, get their emotions on point, and then the eating, like that stuff is simple. But if you don't have the foundation of thinking right and getting your emotions right, it's gonna be tough.
Love that, man. Chris, I'll tell you, it was great jamming with you today. And I know you have the book, 180 Effect, from Businessman or Homeless. I always, the title gets me a little bit. 180 Effect, from Homeless to Businessman.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then the rest.
The rest of it it's for SEO purposes anyway. So, but yeah, the 180 Effect, homeless, a business owner, engulfed in entrepreneurship, and see, I can't even get it,
Yeah, there you go.
but learning that health is wealth from one decision. So
I love that.
Goes through every phase from growing, grooming, then reaching greatness.
Hey, fantastic, man. We love having you part of the Grab community and whatever we could do to help you continue to brand Health is Wealth Nation, and continue to spread your word and change the way the people in the South approach their lifestyles, man. What a great cause, what a great movement, and I'm pretty sure that some people are going to be excited and will support and serve and in any way possible. So, thanks for your time, brother. And for everyone else, that's So we appreciate you, man. And what's kind of cool is I know for a couple people that purchased 180 Effect, we had a partnership for PB&J for Tampa Bay. We were able to provide some meals. So definitely check out the book, and a portion of those proceeds will go to PB&J for Tampa Bay and PB&J for USA now to feed some people. So Chris, appreciate your time, man. Thanks again for joining in.
Thank you for the opportunity, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Take care.
All right. You too.
Later. So for everybody else that's still hanging out, I just want to remind you, all these conversations with all these great people, these are just real stories. These are real people that, are just making moves in life, regardless of their socioeconomic conditions, their physical limitations, doesn't matter. And I want to continue these conversations and creating a space for them to spread their message and inspire the masses. So, and in the process, why not feed some people too? So we're up to about 74,000 sandwiches we've made. We have our next feeding frenzy locally here in the Tampa Bay area in Largo on Sunday at 9 a.m. We are looking to expand nationally, as many of you already know. So we want to get to 100 locations across the United States. This is our 4-year anniversary. So February is our 4-year anniversary. We're excited to expand. And if you missed the conversation that I just had with Chris, obviously it's on Facebook Live. So definitely check out the convo. It was fantastic, very inspiring, very uplifting. And all of you just continue to make your difference. So thanks for joining in. We'll see you next time. Next Monday at this time, I have Rachel Richards going to be joining us talking about money, honey. So get ready for that conversation. It's going to be amazing. We'll talk soon.